Hello, YouTube. Today in the lab, we're going to be taking apart one of these pool vacuums. Now, I've got a pretty good history with these things, having gone through quite a few of them. This one, made by the Ningobo, whatever. You see the model number, the EDHV01. If you search that on Amazon, you will get a whole bunch of different manufacturers. They kind of look like this when they're together, and they kind of look like this when they're taken apart. So this one quit working after about 2 years. I think it's 2 years. It was a good model because it has this little mechanism that allows you to release this and you can clean the filter. It's not as hard as some of the other ones that use a bag, so we liked it for that. We also liked the on-off switch. It's fairly easy to work. But then it stopped working. So, what killed it? Well, this one is actually fairly nicely built, as opposed to some of the other models that I've disassembled over the years. There's actually a container that fully protects the mechanism, the batteries, the circuit board, and everything else from the elements. So when this thing is underwater, this whole enclosure stays sealed. The only thing that is exposed to the outside and to potential water incursion is the battery charging port, which is the fatal flaw for most of these devices. Because if you get water in there, especially chlorinated water, it's going to begin to corrode. The way this manufacturer chooses to protect that is with this little plug that's supposed to go in there. Yeah, you see the plug doesn't even like to go in there right now. Issue is you bump this while you're doing something and then boop, you got a bunch of chlorinated water gets in that hole. That hole is this hole, and unfortunately that begins a corrosion process. Process gets even worse if you don't dry it out properly, rinse it out, clean it out, blow it out before you start charging, because what will happen is the electricity and the chlorine will start to react and you'll get an enhanced corrosion. Ultimately, what this does is it actually corrodes the charging plug, which is what goes in here. That's why a lot of people say you have to twist the plug. Sometimes what you're doing is kind of scraping some of the corrosion off. These plugs aren't, they're really not the best, because they should actually have a ring inside and a ring outside, and inside they really just have two leads. You can kind of see what's left of it. Those will corrode, and then that makes this plug useless. Here's the charger. I disconnected it and put a meter on it. The charger still works good, but here's another fatal flaw. This doesn't look to be an intelligent charger, and the circuit board, even though it goes from red light to green light, doesn't appear to be very intelligent as far as charging. So what happens over time is your battery pack here gets used up because it gets overcharged. At a certain point, when the charging is done, you need to disconnect it. I've had several devices that succumb to this same problem. So essentially, what's happening is you use the unit, the battery runs down, you put it on the charger, and you leave it there. The charging circuit does its job. There's a little light on it. The light goes from red charging to green, I'm done, but you don't notice this because it might be out in the pool shed, it might be overnight, and what's happening is this charger is essentially baking this battery. So what happens in this case of this battery will not take any more charge. It's chemically used up. I'm not sure if it's a lithium ion, but any battery can be damaged like this. Essentially what it means is the charger kept feeding voltage to the battery even after the battery was full. That cooked the battery. So this whole unit is done, unfortunately. In case you're wondering what that is, that's just a weight. It's just a chunk of metal that they put inside there so it sinks a little better. And then this is a tray of screws. So what have we learned here? This is not a bad unit in terms of the filter size, the mechanism, as opposed to like a twist that some of the other ones do. Like if you're looking like a Pool Blaster Shark, that's kind of clunky. This is not a bad mechanism. It's just a little harder to get back together. I do like the fact that the filter inside here is really good, and it's a rigid filter. Unlike a bag, it's a little easier to clean out. I do not like the cover on the port, especially I don't even like the location because of being on the side. It's a tendency to bump it. Most of the other ones have it on the top, so that it's harder to bump the plug. It's over by the thing. There's also a weirdly complicated mechanism. To turn it on, you basically twist this. All that's doing is moving a little dial with a magnet attached. And what activates it is this weird little circuit here on the side. I mean, I understand why they did it, so that they could keep the entire electronics package sealed. But if you're going to leave this open, leave this completely sealed for the power supply, but yet leave your charging port exposed, then you're really not buying yourself much of anything. Anyway, you can find these on Amazon. Just look up the part number. Like I said, the name will probably change right now. When we bought it, it was Ningbo. I think it's somebody else right now. It bounces between manufacturers, but the part remains the same. If you're gonna get a new one, my advice is a couple of things. One, make sure that charging port is always securely closed. Matter of fact, you might even want to put some silicone sealer around it so that it doesn't get water in there. Number two, before you charge it, rinse the whole unit. And then also make sure that no water's gotten inside the charging plug. If it has, blow it out, clean it, dry it out, and then begin the charging. And when you do charge, read the instructions, see how long it takes. Like I said, these units actually have a light that will go from red to green. That light actually comes out here. It's a light pipe. You'll see that pipe kind of comes out the back end here. It will go to green. When it goes to green, you need to unplug it. It's done charging. Do not leave it plugged in or it'll bake your battery. That could get you some more life as opposed to the 2 years. It may not. The unit may have some other flaws that I have not found yet. But, also there was one thing when I tested the motor, because these are cheap little Chinese motors. Some of the windings have gone bad. That could just be the age. They just don't last that long. It's a no-name little DC motor, but when I tested it, I found some of the windings had already shorted. So, yeah, it's not planned to live more than 2-3 years. Just take that with a grain of salt. All right, that's a little quick review and dissection of a Pool Vac.